Now, prior to painting my tender body, I really need to put some beading on the edge, on this edge here. Now, the top part has been folded over, and a nice job being made of it too, but I really need to get this edge the same. Now, in the sheet metal industry, I believe they use split tube, and I can't obtain it anywhere. It's split steel tube. The next best thing is some copper tube, which I have, and I'm going to split that. And I've done this before. I've used it on other projects, and it's been quite successful. And once it's attached and um, filler used and blended in it, it's quite good. So that's the thing I'm going to do. I usually then just solder the tube to a piece of brass bar, split the tube, and then once the job is done, I just reheat the bar, and it releases the copper tube, and then it will be fitted to the edge. Now, as mentioned, all I do is soft solder the tube to a piece of brass bar, and then set it up in the vise, milling machine vise, make sure it's level, and then slit it that way. And then once the job's done, just reheat the bar and tube, and it releases it. It's simple but effective, and I've used this method quite a few times over the years for various other jobs. Now, I have a good selection of slitting saws for this job. It's just finding the right one. Very thin, some of them, especially these small ones. These are made for a special job. There we are. Very fine ones. So I need to find one now. It's approximately 1.5 millimeter in thickness, which is the size of the metal what the tender body is made of, the side sheets. Usually when you've got slitting saws and you want one for a specific job, you can never find one. But I have got one actually. It's 1.5, so that should do the job, hopefully. Now, this is the arbor which I normally use for my slitting saws. It's a homemade effort which fits in the vertical head, and it works quite well with the space at the rear and the one at the front. Now, sometimes it can foul the top of the vise. There could be not enough clearance as it goes along to cut the copper tube. If that's the case, I do have another holder which will have a countersink screw at the end, so to give more clearance. I'll have to see. I'm just now making sure that the tube is parallel. It does not have to be perfect for this operation, but the scriber is just touching. I aren't bothering using a clock gauge or dial indicator. And that's near enough for what I need for this job. It's only slitting pipe, it's nothing at all. It's got to be precision. Now, the saw blade is mounted on my arbor, and there is the cap head protruding there, but it will not foul. It will not foul because of the clearance. So hopefully we should be able to just traverse along with the auto feed and let the cutter do its job. Now, I've just lined up the slitting saw with the tube, and
I'm not going to cut from this end because this will be termed climb milling, and I don't want to do this with the thin tube like this, as it'll tend to probably pull the tube off the soldered piece of brass. It's not really strong enough, so I shall start from the other end. It's just a matter of lining up from this end, which is a lot easier because trying it from the other side is a bit awkward. So we'll see how we go. Now I'm just going to start the saw and slit this piece of copper tube. I've got a fairly high speed with the saw because it's soft copper, although it's not annealed. So hopefully it should cut. Now I think we'll have this on auto traverse. Now we've got it on power feed now.
Now you can buy ready-made tube which is already been slit, and I believe it's used by people at, in the sheet metal industry for edging various items, but I was unable to obtain any anywhere. So I thought this method would do, which I've used before with quite a lot of success. It's certainly easier to mill copper tube than steel. I actually recently slit some steel plate, and this is on my other video. It was some 6-inch wide steel plate I need to slit in half. It was 1/4 inch thick, and I used the horizontal setup on the milling machine to slit the plate. I've left a link below if you want to watch that video. What I'll do now is fettle the end of the tube to blend in with the top portion of the tender plate. Same with the bottom. I'll use a body filler to attach it, I think, and then blend the top portion and cut off the bottom portion, and do the same with that, and that will do. Once it's blended and rubbed down and painted, it'll look all right. Well, I hope you found this of interest, and thank you for watching.